What's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, and I'm bringing you a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 guide, and today we'll be going back to Invasion, and we're going to be talking about all of these spawns, so that way you guys can know how to play Invasion better and get more kills. So, without further ado, I'm going to go over a little bit of how you can read these charts, and then we'll get right into it. So if you've been around for a while on the channel, you'll definitely recognize an image like this, because back in Modern Warfare 2019, I used to make ground war guides where I highlighted a lot of areas of the map. Now, I want to teach you guys how to read this before we actually go over it, because if you can read this one about Sarif Bay, then you'll be able to read every single other chart, because this is actually the hardest one to understand. So we're going to start off with this one, and then we'll go in through each individual map, and yeah. So, here's how we do it. So, starting off with Sarif Bay, how you should go about reading this image. First off, anywhere you see the red lines that are scribbled all over the map is useless area of the map that I would never recommend you guys go to, unless for some odd reason there's a bunch of people just out there for no reason. Then, I mean, yeah, you're going to have to play to the way the lobby plays, but 9 out of 10 times this area is going to be useless on the map, and you're not going to be finding pretty much any kills. Again, there might be one oddball that just decides to venture out here because they have no clue what's going on. And if they do, then honestly, I would just recommend picking them off with a sniper rifle, because you're wasting your time going over there. You're not going to get anything going. But on Sarif Bay, as you can see, anywhere that's inside that red outline, you know, that's where all that scribble is not, is where the actual map plays. So off the start of the game, you're going to spawn in probably a little bit further back than the blue area, but the blue is the primary spawn, right? Like, let's just say people were fighting a perfect tug of war down the center of the map, and no one's gaining map control. That's going to be your primary spawns. Yellow determines secondary spawns, and what secondary spawns are is pretty much, it's going to be an area whenever you start losing map control or the enemy starts losing map control. So what I mean by this is, if you're gaining map control and you're pushed up too far that the blue spawns are no longer safe, or the enemy team's pushed up too far that the blue spawns are no longer safe, then it's going to flip to the yellow spawns. And then once you push up enough again, then it's going to flip to the green spawn, which is like the emergency spawn, we'll call it, or the third spawns. And then the orange area, this is unique to Sarif Bay. The orange area on the map is actually the absolute most emergency spawns of them all, because it's whenever you push up to that green spawn and you push them out of the green spawn, it actually flips them to the dead center of the map. So that's what happens when your team just pushes up way too far. It's just going to flip them all to the center of the map, and things get pretty chaotic, and match just pretty much loses flow. So I would highly recommend that you guys don't push them past the green area, especially if you want to win the game, because once they get in your back, things can really go south quickly. So make sure you're never pushing them past green. You can have them at green. Green's one of the best spawns for keeping them back as far as possible, but you never want them to go to the center of the map, because that's when things get messed up. So, next up we have Border Crossing. I'm not going to lie, this might be the strangest map when it comes to useless areas on the map and map flow. Because there is just so much useless area on this map in Invasion. And you can pretty much see, because I scribbled out all that area. The match tends to play towards the bridge, but not only that, it also tends to play like that under area of the bridge. As you can see a little bit up, if we're saying that north is up on this image, then north of the bridge, that's kind of like where the action can also tend to take place, but it almost never takes place to the south. So it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those maps, it just plays really weird, and there's no like set spawns I really feel that are like primary or secondary or anything like that. Now, you can push them all the way back to like those back spawns, but again, sometimes people just spawn there. Like, there's no real logic to it. I don't know. This map confuses me. If I end up figuring it out a little bit better, I'll have an updated image pinned in the comment section below, so you guys can click the link for that. But as of right now, this map just kind of feels like, I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but these are the main spawn areas, so You just kind of have to get a feel for it on your own. It's really hard to explain this map. Next up we have Said, which is the absolute easiest map to learn in this game for Invasion. And the reason being is, you see these yellow lines. Okay, so the inside, or not yellow lines, red lines. The inside of those red lines, where there's no X's, is pretty much a free-for-all, right? People can be anywhere, and everyone's going to be fighting over, this area of the map. Now, where those X's are, there's no actual spawns around the middle of the map, at least in Invasion, that I really ever noticed too much of. There might be the occasional odd one here and there, but most of the people are going to be spawning still in their main HQ area, which is where those X's are. So, the reason I put X's there is because you'll want to be there if you're getting spawn trapped to try to break enemies out of the spawn trap, and then that way you can regain map control. But off the beginning of a game, and whenever all the action is in the middle, you really don't want to be back there because you're just never going to find any kills. And you might be able to find an odd snipe here and there, like an angle on some people, but I promise you're not going to get much action. So you might as well just go play the middle of the map and get some angles maybe on rooftops, or just try to find some creative angles through some of the buildings. But again, there's primary spawns, there's secondary spawns, but they kind of work the same way as Santa Senya, where they're not really 100% set. Like sometimes you might see a secondary spawn even though they should be spawning at the primary. So it's just one of those maps where it's kind of weird again, but it's super easy to understand because pretty much everything's just right in front of you. It's not wide at all. This map's really easy. So anyways, that's Said. Moving on, we have Giharo, and this one is pretty simple to understand as well. So depending on which side you spawn on, these are going to be the primary spawns and all that jazz. And then our secondary spawns are in yellow. This map is basically one-sided as hell, okay? That's the best way I could put it. If you spawn on the E side, which is the side that has 2 yellow dots, you can spawn trap the enemies on this map like crazy, okay? And if you want to go for your Joker, like the double kills on the Joker, this is one of the best maps to do it, especially if you spawn on that E side. So basically you throw them into the spawn trap, the secondary spawn trap, and they're there pretty much for the rest of the game in that little alleyway, and you can just fire Joker rockets off and get double kill after double kill after double kill. Like, I'm not even joking. I actually had a 6-man. Now, I really wish I was recording, but Shadowplay likes to turn itself off at random times, so I couldn't record that 6-man for you, but take my word for it. The trap there is absolutely insane, and yeah, once the enemies are in that secondary spawn trap, they can't do anything. So this map is super, super one-sided. But that's not to say that the other side isn't all that great either, because there still are a lot of angles to just watch spawns on that side too. So yeah, it's overall a very spawn trappy map. Last but not least, we have Tarak. Now, I'm not really sure if that's the pronunciation, but it is what it is. Anyways, our primary spawns, again, where we're going to be spawning if no one really has map control, is going to be around those blue dot areas. Now, it's not exact. Remember, these spawns are never really exact. It's just trying to give you guys an idea of where you should be looking for enemies, but especially whenever they're spawning in, and you got to think as well as what kind of routes are they going to take. But these are, again, the primary spawns. And then for the yellow ones, these are our secondary spawns. Now, I have never seen any, like, I don't even know what you want to call them, like, the third spawns. Like, I have never seen them on this map. They might exist, though, because there still is room behind the second spawns where they can really go. But I have never seen them. So, I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't think they exist, but if they do, again, I'll update you guys. But this map, great for doing your sniper challenges. Also great for doing the Joker, because it's really open and snipers kind of group up together. So, yeah, you could actually get your Joker done in here as well. But, so yeah, that's the Invasion spawn guides. I really hope that helped you out, and I'll just give you guys some extra tips now. So, whenever the spawns on this map go to, like, the secondary and the third spawns, if they exist, people tend to start sniping whenever they're getting spawn trapped. Now, people snipe in general quite a bit, but whenever the map is playing more tug of war and it's more towards the center, you can get away with using whatever gun you want. But if you're on the team that's actually spawn trapping the enemies, you might have noticed in the background in this gameplay, I actually pulled out a sniper while we were spawn trapping them, because it gets really hard to get things going with a regular gun, because all the enemies start using longer ranged weapons because they're afraid to move up, because they're just going to get steamrolled. And the best way to counter this is to just pull out a sniper and just keep them there and locked in the back. That's exactly what I'd do, and you guys can see it paid off. In this match, I got 2 gunships. Could have actually had 3 if I didn't choke my set of streaks to a bomb drone. But I ended up finally hitting 500 plus score in Invasion. And I'm still trying to figure out what the best 3 kill streaks are to run, but I know for a fact a chopper gunner and a gunship are the best kill streaks to run. Now, one thing is that the gunship, the angles do get chalked, as you saw there, whenever they're in the third spawns. I can't actually aim in the gunship unless I had a better angle, and it was just a bad luck of where the gunship happened to be, so I exited it early, went into my chopper gunner, and was able to finally get some more kills, because I was able to bring this thing over here. I'm still not sure what I like for my 3rd kill streak. I've been using the SAE because I feel the SAE is very good in this game mode, but at the same time, I'm really trying to maximize the amount of kills. This game I ended up getting 87 player kills, not including any AIs, as it doesn't tell you how many kills you get on AIs, it only tells you how many kills you get on players. If you look at your little wristwatch, if you got that as part of the Season 1 Battle Pass. So, if you do want to know how many kills you actually got, you got to just take your number of kills, and you got to look at your kill-death ratio, and then you just got to do the math from there. So, but those are just some extra little tips here. I think it's going to help you guys out a lot if you start off the game using a normal gun, and then as you notice, hey, maybe this match is starting to turn into a spawn trap, and everyone's sniping now. You got to change gears, you got to pull out a sniper, you got to try to find ways to counter the defense that the enemies are trying to put up as they're getting trapped. So, anyways, hopefully this helped you guys out. If it did, be sure to drop a like. If you're new, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, and have a great day.